Hello again and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be coloring a bit more on the mini circles in Rita Berman's book Durch Europa, and as you can see I've done a bit more since my last video. What I decided to do was use the same colors I used here. I'm trying to weave those colors throughout the pages and the double spread. I don't think that I'm going to get away with only those colors. I am having to pull through a few more colors, but I'm trying to stick very closely to the same color scheme. So blues, pinks, greens, and some browns, yellows, and grays. So over here, I experimented with the sunset sky. So what I did is I used a yellow, which was actually, it was PC 942, and I used this very lightly up here by the sun, and then I went into the pinkier tones, which would have been the mulberry 995, PC 995, and I wove it in and out, down, and then I brought in the PC 1086 and I pulled that down. So very light blending, just to try and smoothen the transition between the colors. And what I wanted to do was not have the blue with the yellow, because that would make green. But yellow on pink, it sort of blends better into itself without going a muddy color. Then for the clouds, what I've done was use the magenta, and I think I may have used the blue slate, PC 1024, in the darker parts of the cloud. And then where the sun is touching the clouds, I added a bit of the yellow into that, so it reflects a bit of it. And then inside the windows I've used the same yellow, and for the ground I've used the same colors we used for the hats, and the grass is the pale sage and the moss green, and the same for the trees. All I did was add a bit of yellow in some of them just to make it a bit more varied. These leaves here are pale sage first, then moss green over in the shadows, followed by another coat of the pale sage. The border is done across the double spread using the same colors I used for the border in the first picture I videoed. Over here I've used the grays for the shop, and then the same blues for the skirt I've been using on the rooftops, and the pot is the same browns, and this here will be pale sage and moss green for the leaves. However, I am just a little worried that there's not much variety with leaves, so I may need to bring in a bit more color. We'll see how we go. And then on this other side here, I used the magenta and the dark purple with some white on the umbrella. The same colors for the clouds I did on all the clouds. And here I used some of the browns. I think it was a sandbar brown and the dark umber. So what I want to do with this water is I want to give it that sparkly, low tide, early in the morning kind of feel to it. So I'll do that there. And I've used a very light blue slate, and I think it's, sky blue light, to just do the sky quite light, because I don't want the ocean waves and the sky to blend. I do want a little bit of like a horizon on there. Over here you've got the same clouds, and then the water I've used the same colors as the roof and the skirt. So sky blue light, blue slate, and then I think it is ultramarine. No, I beg your pardon, it's denim blue. You can throw in a bit of black or very dark brown. I would say black to really deepen the shadows and the waves. So today what I've gone and done is pulled out a few more colors. I'm going to stick with the blues for all the water in this picture. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do similar to this page here, where I made this as a bit of a living map. So the same colors for the grass and the land, I'm going to pull into this part over here. And I think what I'll do is I'll weave some of those colors into this circle here. And I'm also planning on using the lemon yellow PC915 and the yellowed orange PC1002 for the suns. So I'll go ahead and I'll do all the suns, and then I'll try and land between this picture and that picture, and we'll see how we do. So I'm going to zoom you in and we can get started. Okay, so using the lemon yellow, I'm just going to lightly color in the sun here, and then I'm going to bring in a bit of orange, and blend it out again with the lemon yellow. And I will bring in the yellow ochre PC942. PC1002. PC942. Okay. I'm just going to bring you down. This is the lemon yellow. And the PC942. And then PC1002. And then I'll just blend it out with the lemon yellow. And here, if you look carefully on the snow, I've done a little bit of yellow on the tips just to reflect the sunlight. Right, let me move you over here and we'll do the sun. PC915 lemon yellow. Followed by PC942, which is the yellow ochre. A bit of the yellowed orange, PC1002. and then I'm going to bring in PC 915 and just try smoothing it out. Right. I'm going to bring you back over and let's see if we can work on this picture. Okay, so I'm going to do the water, and I'm going to make it darkest along the shorelines and then bring in streams of light areas. So it's a bit of a play really, and I've got to try and work out what's what, so I don't know what's here really. I'm almost leaning towards this is a bit of ocean as well, because you've got the lighthouse there, so we'll have ocean, mountains on maybe like desert land, and ocean here. Okay, let's see how we go. So this is the denim blue PC 1101. And what I'm going to do is really layer it so I can build up the color. So how is everyone doing? I hope you are all well. We've had a really busy few weeks. I took my kids up to London Zoo on Monday, and we had such a lovely time just exploring the zoo, walking around, seeing some of the new sites. You know, we had that particular area we haven't walked much in London, so that was quite fun. And I came down with a bit of a cold, so it's been a bit of a slow going kind of week, and just relaxing and taking it easy. My boys have had quite a few busy weekends, so I think having a week where we just slow down is helpful for them and for me. So let me know in the comments how you're doing. And then we found out today that a group that the boys go to, some of the kids have come down with COVID, so that was fun, having to just quickly check what is required of us, what do we need to do, but at least we know, and thankfully none of us have COVID, so that's always a blessing. So how's Christmas plans coming along? I'm waiting for December. As soon as December comes around, I'm going to go Christmas mad. I love Christmas. It's the best time of the year. And I first have our anniversary to get through, and then my eldest son's birthday. And then once those are done, I can actually focus on getting ready for Christmas and all the presents, but not just that, it's traditions. I like the traditions. So we have gingerbread houses. I like to make gingerbread houses with the boys, and it's quite fun. Sometimes we make snow globes. We love setting up the Christmas tree early, although come 1st of January that Christmas tree is down. It's really taken down quite quickly. Sorry, I'm really concentrating. So I'm thinking we'll make maybe yellow and orange fish. I also want to go and look at some of the Christmas festivals. I like just walking through the markets and the stalls and seeing what's for sale. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in the blue slate PC 1024. And I'm just going to go over what I've colored and just out a bit. And what we can do is also bring in a bit of Uniball Signo pen, the white one, and just add a bit of highlights to this water as well. Yeah, I do think Christmas is such a fun time of the year. And also making Christmas cards, or even just, you know, supporting the local charity shops and buying some Christmas cards and filling them in, sending them off. I think it's good practice for all of us, although I must say our South African culture is not really a card giving kind of culture. So in some ways I actually have to remind myself that it is a more British culture. I don't know if it's an American culture, but I have picked up here in the UK it is quite a cultural thing to send Christmas cards. So I do need to make a concerted effort to remember, you know, birthday cards, Christmas cards, those sort of things. Just because it's not our norm per se, but it's a good thing to remember to do. You know, take the time to appreciate the people in your life, show them a bit of care and love. I am very big though on thank you cards. So my kids, when they get gifts, then I encourage them to send a thank you note, just to cultivate that appreciation for what they've been given and towards the people that have blessed them with a gift. Yeah. Right, I think I'm going to bring in a bit of black. I want these shadowy areas here to be quite dark. So this is PC 935. I'm just going into the very deeper parts and just deepening it up a bit. You don't want to do too much black, because if you put too much black, it can mute the color, so it will just flatten your picture. But if you go over it again with your darkest blue, it will help to just keep it quite vibrant and 3D. So I've decided I don't like using distress ink in this book. I just cannot get it to work. I tried it again in one of the other pages, and fortunately this page is right at the back of the book, and it just did not. It worked better than the first time I tried, but yeah, it's a complete, let's just put it this way, I don't like it. I am hoping it's more me not doing it properly than it is the actual paper, or maybe it is the paper, I don't know. If any of you have used distress ink in Rita Berman's books and have some tips for me, I'd so appreciate that. I just can't get it to work very, very well. So let me know in the comments any tips you've got when it comes to making distress inks successful, because I think that this might just be a user problem. Okay, so there I've used the black. Now I'm going to go back in with the denim blue, PC 1101. I mean, obviously you can do this with an indigo and it will look probably much better than using black. However, I'm forcing myself to stick to the color palette I've chosen and the pencils, because I want to practice mixing the colors, finding new color schemes, and experimenting a bit more instead of just reaching for another pencil. Not that there's anything wrong with it, I'm just trying to keep myself going out of my comfort zone and learning different things. And seeing if it actually works. I mean, I think the water works quite nicely here. Whether it will work out this way or the map is a different story. I think that's the fun part with these mini circles, is coloring them in a way that actually brings a cohesiveness to the whole page. Whereas, you know, when we have a bigger spread, we tend to just stick to a color palette for that page, and it works really, really well. But with many pictures, your color scheme needs to work not only in each picture, but across the entire spread. And I think that's the challenge and the beauty of mini pictures. Okay, then I'm coming in with the blue slate PC 1024. Then I'm going to come in with the sky blue light PC 1086. I want a bit more of the denim blue. Okay, let's do the blue slate in the bottom section here. And what I'm doing in this section is I'm just going in little round circles. And just trying to blend this all out. And then the sky blue light. So what I think we'll do is we'll leave the highlights with the Uniball Signo pen or the white Posca pen for last, and okay, so that's the water. Then for the sand and so for the rest of the groundwork, what we'll use is a mix of colors. So I have some greens, a bit of yellows and some browns. And what I'm going to start off with is the Peach Beige PC 1085, and we can put that around most of this here. Then for the mountains, what we're going to do is put in some Gingerbread PC 1084. And we will bring in some PC 1094. And these colors I find really blend well together. Then PC 946, and we're just going to use that here in these shadows. Go back in with the Gingerbread PC 1084. Then PC 1012, which is the Jasmine. You can just ease up the Jasmine a bit around here. PC 946. Followed by the Beige Peach PC 1085. So I'm not aiming for realism on the map, because I mean it is a map. I'm aiming more for a bit of depth and color. PC 1094. And then I will go back in with Gingerbread PC 1084. Then inside the craters, I'm just going to take some black, PC 935. Okay, so over here we'll do the same colors because this is more deserty. You've got your palms, and you could add a bit of green. So what we'll do is we'll use the Gingerbread PC 1084. And we'll just scatter that sort of around like this. We'll throw in some of the jasmine, PC 1012. Then we'll bring in some light umber, PC 941. Followed by PC 1085, beige peach. That was some light umber and then some jasmine. Then for the mountains, we'll add in some PC 946. I'm just going to go over this here. Along this edge here. Okay. If you want a bit of green in, you can throw in some PC 1005. And you'll get a bit of that green texture in. And PC 1085 peach beige or beige peach, just to blend them all into each other. Right. Then for the trees, we can use moss green and some kelp green. So PC 1090 and PC 1097. And use a bit of pale sage or light green. So I might actually use the lime peel. And it doesn't really give much, so we'll try the pale sage. And this is the kelp green. Moss green. And back over with the pale sage. And then we'll come in with the black, PC935, and just add in these details. Right, so here we've got mountains and here we've got trees. So I think this foreground we're going to put in Gingerbread PC1084. So over here we can actually just go straight in with the line peel, which is the PC1005. Over here. The Jasmine, PC10112, sorry, 1012. You can bring in a bit of moss green just to add some shadow here. And then the ginger root. So what I found is by adding the ginger root over the lime peel, it just takes that vibrant yellow green down. It just tones it down a bit, and it just gives it a bit more character. So I'm bringing in the light umber, PC941. And then the moss green. And the jasmine. Okay. So then we've got trees here, so this is the jasmine. The light umber. The lime peel, PC1005. the Gingerbread PC 1084. The Moss Green PC 1097. And then the lime peel. The ginger root. And the jasmine. Lime peel. We'll bring in the peach beige over here, and then we'll add in the light umber. So this here will all be peach beige. Okay, so I've got the PC 941 light umber. I'll just do the mountains. We'll come in as well with the dark brown, which is PC 946. And then the peach beige. The light umber PC 941. And then the PC 1012, which leaves us with this section here. And I think we're going to make those look like trees, because I'll make this look like a field that's been harvested. So that was the jasmine. This is the ginger root. And then we'll go back over it with the jasmine just to bring in that very yellow, so it looks like a yellow field. And then this is the moss green. And we'll bring in the pale sage. And we'll go over the moss green areas. The dark brown PC946, and we'll turn this into just close by tree trunks. Okay, and here I'll bring in the kelp green. I'll do moss green in here with a bit of the, sorry, that was pale sage with a bit of moss green. So let's do pale sage. Moss green, you can even try a bit of denim blue just to try and deepen it. And then what we do is go over it with the jasmine. And, you know, blue on the yellow and blue make green. So if you layer it and then go over it again with the moss green, it should brighten it up a little. Okay, let's try the kelp green. And then the moss green. Let's bring in some grass. Oh dear. So what I've done is I've just pulled out some grass green and I'm just using it in over the moss green, except it keeps breaking. And I'm just going through and adding it in just to help the tree stand out a bit, because the kelp green and the moss green are just kind of disappearing and I want the trees to stand out. So okay, let's hopefully it doesn't fall out again. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. It just helps those trees to stand out. And then what we're going to do is use some yellow and make those into lemon trees. Okay, so the lemon yellow in the little circles. You probably could do this better with a gel pen. It's not really working very well for me. Okay, the lemon yellow is not working. Let me try the yellow ochre, which is PC942. So you could probably get better results using a gel pen, and you could use a red, orange, or whatever color you like, because these are just fruit trees, which is really not working well for me. So now I'm trying the yellow and orange. I'm layering. I think that will be better. Alright, looks like I'm going to have an orange tree. Goodness gracious. Okay. Yeah, okay. That we'll just have to do. Let's get the grass green and do this tree here. And then the pale sage. Okay, there you go. So that leaves us with fish, the house, and the buildings. And then we should be, oh, and the ship. I can't find my grey pencils, so I think I'll leave the ship for last. For the life of me, I don't know where the right grey pencils have disappeared to. Let's make the fish orange. So we'll do all their faces orange. Okay, and then let's give them lemon yellow bodies. PC915. I mean, obviously you can make them any color you want. I just try to use contrasting color to just help the fish stand out a little bit. Right. Oh, we've got another tree down here. So, pale sage, followed by grass green, PC909. Okay, this is PC 931. Followed by white, PC 938. And then back over it with PC 931. I think with these houses, you're going to need very sharp points because it's so fine. And okay. Found a gray. So let's see if we do so hard pressure on the darker side, lighter pressure out. That way when you go over it with the white, it should create a bit of a gray. Okay, so go over the grey with the white. Just try and pull some of that grey out, and then go over okay. And then I want black inside this door. Alright, so I just did a light pressure with the PC 1058 over here. And then you can go over it again with the white. And that will help you keep that both buildings sort of separate yet connected. I think I might do all the buildings. I think I'll do these buildings the same colors. So we'll give this one a. Okay, so this is PC 1058. Lighter up. So give it almost like a dark grey kind of roofing. And then use the Mulberry PC 995 . And then the white. I mean, who says you can't have a pink house? Alright, should we give, I think we'll bring in some orange, so Oh gosh, this is hard. Oh my. Okay, there's the domes orange. Yeah, I think I'm desperate now. Oh, goodness. Lemon yellow. We'll blend it out with lemon yellow. And we'll do the grey roof. It's a PC 1058. Followed by the white to create those highlights. And then using the black, just go over the lines. We'll do a dark brown PC 946. Followed by a light umber. PC 945, yeah, 946. And let's do the sand. Okay, we can try some green ochre. That might work. Deepen the shadows a little. And the light umber. Just very lightly, just to help create, you know, those light and darks. And then we'll give it a grey blue roof. So sky blue light on the roof, followed by PC 1058. Yellow ochre PC 942 in the windows. Okay, we'll do this body here, that grey. So that was PC 1058, then followed by the white, which is PC 938. And we'll do an orange bounce around here. And then we'll do the mulberry PC 995. Followed by the dark purple PC 931. and then we'll blend them together with the white, PC938. Go over it again with PC931. And PC995. Okay, we'll do the windows, we'll just black them out. PC941, just here. I'm not sure what this is, so we'll just make it part of the landscape. Okay, so now for the boat. The manholes, we'll just black out with black. Alright, I'm going to use PC1058 and I'm going to create a grey. I've been trying to find the right grey and I just, for the life of me, I cannot see it in my pencil bag. Then I'm going to take PC938. I'm just going to clean off any pink because I don't really want pink streaks in the boat. And I'm going to try and just blend out these greys. I'll just go over the black manholes. And I don't think that looks actually too bad. So if I bring in some of the dark purple PC931, and then the PC1058, and then the white, blend out the purple, and then just go back over with the PC1058. Which leaves these smokestacks. And we can also just very lightly with the grey and then go over that with the whites. Oh wow, we actually did it. I am surprised. Oh. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get the Uniball Signo pen and we'll add the highlights, and then we have done our second completed circle. Okay, so using a Uniball Signo pen, I'm just going to do the highlights for the house, the lighthouse. And then we've got a whole lot of water here. And there we have it. Our second circle is complete. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this color along tutorial. If you've liked this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up, comment below, and if you want to see more of my tutorials, or just me coloring, or any other reviews, my completed works and works in progress, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I will see you all next video. Bye for now.